Good morning, Mike Willard. We're going to do a dry assembly of the trestles of a live edge slab table. And the reason for this is not only because it gives me an opportunity to look at the parts which have been routed, sanded, done all that stuff. They're pretty much complete. It also is a rehearsal for the glue up, which is in the woodworking business, gluing up is always a sudden death playoff. And you know, I hear people say this thing again and again about failure is not an option. Well, yeah, in any human endeavor, failure is always a prominent option. So, in order that that doesn't happen, I have to be systematic about this. So you'll notice that each tenon and each mortise are marked. So they have to go. This isn't made by robots nor by CNC machinery. It's made by hand. So there are some variances. They've all been pre-fit. I say they're going to go together. We'll just find out for sure. But that's the point. I'm rehearsing a sequence here, and uncertainty is the enemy. I have to know exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, having said that, I think we're going to get into the assembly. And just so you'll know, it's not really important to what we're doing right now, but I have some layout lines here which show the approximate location of the finished trestles under the table. So there will be about 18 inches of overhang on the end, so people could use the end for seating. So it's about the same as the narrow part of this live edge slab. Having said that, I think we're going to go ahead and assemble. Alright, so our walnut foot pieces, which are still loose, are in their approximate location. Everything else is going to move and be built on top of that. So the sequence is, I put the spreader, which is mortised, for the tusk tenon. Okay, so these pieces, the legs and this center spreader are assembled. So if we, whoops, then insert this . Alright. The top, which is going to, this will be our mode of attaching the tabletop. We'll have several timber screws that go here into the table slab. The point of this is that we're going to wind up with four major components. The top itself, which, you know, is one piece, can't do anything about that. This trestle, which can be picked up and moved as an assembly. The other trestle, same thing. And then this, it's actually a spreader that goes between the trestles, which is assembled with a tusk tenon. So, we're going to assemble the other end. I did want to point out that I've incorporated the live edge on this little spreader on the end, just because I thought it looked cool. This is the way it's going to happen when it gets glued up. Same sequence. I have to glue the mortises and tenons of this spreader, and then I have to glue the mortises and tenons of the foot, and then basically build it the same sequence that I did dry. Okay, there we have that. This has a right side and a bottom side. So this piece is crowned, if you notice, and I'm using the natural crown in the wood as kind of a visual element. Once we get this far, all the pieces are captive, so I can take the clamps off. Not when it's glued up, it would be left in place. And then, to pull up the joint on this spreader, we simply insert the wedges in the tusk tenon, like so. And this can be reversed at any time, simply by disassembling these three pieces, so it makes it much easier to get into a doorway or up a stairway. I don't know where this table is going to go to live. So anyway, that's my point in doing this. It's heavy and massive, and you have to make it portable. So, thank you.